Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are doing something a little bit more relaxing and we are touring the Halloween themed spooky creepy island we made in the last 30 days. This is the finale of the 30-day spooky challenge where we had to create an island from start to finish. This was a brand new island and it is now finished. This is what the map used to look like. And this is what the map looks like now. I think I'm pleased with the islands. Of course, there's a few things I would change, but I think we did okay. If you want to visit this island, this is the dream address. You can visit it now, and I have a little challenge for anyone who wants to participate. I have hidden 5 normal star fragments all around Moriween. There's 5 to find. So if you're up for a Halloween challenge, visit Moriween and see if you can find all 5. Or, you know, just have a walk around and talk to the villagers. I don't know. So we're just today going to do a little bit of a tour to see what we came up with in 30 days. So we may as well start right outside of our house. We've got a spooky street here. This was one of the first builds we did, and basically we wanted it to look kind of like a normal residential street where everyone can come and trick or treat with a little bit of a spooky aspect, like the ghost gyroids, the street lamps in the dark, just kind of give that spooky vibe. And actually we've got a little bit of fog going on as well, which is really awesome. If we move up the beach, we do have a tiny little build at the end of the beach, and here we tried to make use of the castle ruins and made something a little bit sinister with the chainsaw and the steamroller. So make of this what you will. And really, as we're walking around the island now, I kind of realized just how much work we actually put in. This is our witch's grotto. It's kind of a witchy forest, and this is where we first used our custom path. And if you make your way up here, you do eventually get to the witch's grotto, which is of course Vivian. Vivian is our designated witchy wolf. And there's plenty of glowing moss, mushrooms, and just apples, and just ingredients for Vivian to make some spooky potions. So I was pretty pleased with how this came out. Oh yes, and we have some dinosaur poo, courtesy of Scoot. Making our way over the first bridge from our house, we have the Able Sisters, of course. Another little build here that I think I'm proud of. Of course, things could always be done a little bit better, but in the time scale, with the items we had available, I think we did okay to do what we did. So I'm pretty pleased with it. We've got a tiny little kind of outdoor food and drink area there. We can sip some spooky coffee. We've got some costumes, the ghost umbrella, which I found at the last minute in Tom Nook's, or in Nook's Cranny, sorry. And of course we've got these very spooky statues, which thanks again to Scoot for demonstrating they actually glow. So they fit in perfectly with this little area there. And we've also got things like the truck, because I wanted to add a few things to make it a bit realistic, and also use some of the bigger items that I never got to use on my previous island. Coming down Clay's house, we didn't really have time to do anything with, so I just brought some orange flowers down here and gave a little sand path there and a tiny little bit of fence, just so it wasn't sat by itself. But if we go over here, we do come to one of the builds that I'm most proud of. Hey Jack, fancy meeting you in this pumpkin carving area. This is the pumpkin carving area slash pumpkin market, I guess. And this is what I'm probably the most proud of, because it slowly came together over about 3 episodes. I thought I'd finished, then I changed it, then I added to it, then everyone gave their feedback, so we changed it again, because everyone comes up with awesome ideas throughout the whole process. I want you to know I've really enjoyed this process, getting everyone's input, making things come to life through your feedback, and just bringing it all together. It's just been a real pleasure. But basically the idea would be to come in here, you collect your pumpkin, get maybe a safety leaflet, you come to one of these stations and you carve your pumpkin. When you're finished, you can get some food, buy some local produce, I don't know, maybe craft something. But yes, and then if we carry on through here, we do come to the entrance. Another thing I'm quite proud of, because it's so basic. You see so many people do incredible, magnificent entrances, and doing something as simple as a few cliffs and trees reminds me that islands do not have to be extravagant, cluttered islands. They look awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's a reminder that you can have simple cliffs and it still can look good, I think, anyway. So let me know what you think. So that's the entrance there. I don't think you'll be able to get up there, but there's some vines there anyway to make it look spooky. Of course, we have resident services here, and either side of the resident services, we have the giant pumpkin patches with the matching archways, and we tried to make them look a little bit cozy and farmy with a well. I'm being chased! With a well and the silo there, just to kind of make it look a bit more like a farm. We can, of course, get through this little walkway here, and out the back of these pumpkin patches if we want to. And the other side of the resident services, we have the other corresponding pumpkin patches, which is cool. Moving down, we have a house which I totally forgot to do anything with, but we'll just pretend that was supposed to be like that. This is the campground gnome storytelling spooky campground thing. I actually think this was the very first thing we began making. We moved some trees, we cut them down into a circle where the gnomes could come and gossip about the villagers, and then we surrounded it in trees. Again, a very basic build, but I think it turned out great. We do have the campsite here, and probably one of my regrets is we didn't do more with the campsite, but you know, there's not always a villager here. So moving up. Oh, we're getting chased again. We do have some candy on us, but we're just going to concentrate on the tour right now. In the back here, we have a very cozy farm yard kind of working area for the two houses and two villagers that are ultimately looking after all the pumpkin patches. Again, most of the builds on this island are very simple, but I think it came together really well. Moving up, we have the ancient ruins, the worshipping grounds for the dead. Here we have a few gyroids, of course, and this is our very, I guess it's quite impressive rock garden. It took a long time. We grinded and grinded the mannequin trick to get all of the rocks up on these cliffs. I think it was worth it. Again, I'm very proud of this, so let me know what you think. Is this something you've tried? Or what have you done with your rocks? Let me know in the comments. Moving through the custom gyroid archway, we come to our graveyard and our haunted mansion. I did just finalize this with a bit of spooky path and some burning leaves, but this is Sylvia's haunted mansion. I think her house goes super well in this area, and of course we have a haunted painting to go with it, whose eyes I believe are closed right now because the painting is sleeping on Halloween. And of course over here we have the graveyard. We have some gravestones and some grave areas, and in a dense forest. Again, we made do with the items we had. We put a little wheelbarrow and shovel there, but there is some gyroids buried there, I think. So there's a few things to look at if you come to Moriween, and a few things to hunt down and check out. But yeah, this is right next to one of our recent builds, and that is the haunted carnival or fairground. Everything looks quite sinister because the Ferris wheel is still going around. Maybe a ghost is using it, I don't know. But we don't have the music because it gets a little annoying after a while. And I think you'll agree it looks a lot more spooky with just the Ferris wheel going slowly around. If we jump over here, we have our fortune telling area as part of our forest. This is the area we have done the least with, but as you can see, it does look like Jack's face on the map. So there's a lot going on here, even though it doesn't look like it. Again, that took a long time. I was super proud of that. I wasn't sure how it was going to come out, and I was worried I was going to waste my time, but I think it looks good. So it's nice in this area to have a couple of tiny builds, if you can call it that. But this is our fortune telling area, so maybe you can come here and get your fortune read by a ghost. Inside we have a little bit of a swampy area. We didn't really get to finish it. I would have liked to put swampy water tiles down there, but we didn't get around to it. This was a last minute addition. This is not one of the star fragments you're looking for, by the way. This is a Libra fragment, the only one we found that wasn't a normal star fragment, so I just put it there because I thought it was cool. Moving around Jack's face, we've got lots of glowing moss and mushrooms and everything, like vines and bamboo, just to make it look overgrown and somewhat deserted. If we head to the top, if I can get through, we have our spooky ghost, which looks so cool, playing the organ there. In the back, you're not missing too much. We just have the Diplo dinosaur because I just didn't know what to do with it. It's so huge, but I didn't want to get rid of it. So we put it along the back there. It fits quite well. It's exactly in the middle of the island, so I'm pretty proud that we managed to find all the pieces to that, actually. Considering we are still looking for the T-Rex tail, even now. Just outside of Jack's face and over the bridge from our house, we have the forbidden money forest with stakes all around the little forest there. There's some skulls in there, some blood splatter. It's cursed money. You do not want to go in there because if you take that money, bad things could happen. Who knows? But yeah, proceed with caution. Moving up the stairs to the top corner of the map, we have our museum area with a half excavated Tyrannosaurus Rex. We came up with this idea just because we couldn't find its tail. And I really like the T-Rex, so I wanted to do something with it. It's probably the scariest dinosaur, so I wanted to do something with it even though we didn't have the tail. So we kind of made out it was still being excavated. I think that's the best we could have come up with. We just have a few other fossils here, a couple fossils that we managed to complete and did some paths. This is where we store our proud Jacob's Ladder. There is actually a second Jacob's Ladder in the forest as well that popped up because we do in fact have a 5-star island. So we did achieve a 5-star island, which is really cool. But this is the museum area. Again, a couple of completed fossils, and you can actually get around the back here to the back of the witch's house if you want to, but it's just more forest and more trees. Okay, if we head along the front of Jack's face, of course, we have our maze, which I'm sure you remember. We haven't changed this in any way. We just have a wheat maze here. This lags the island like crazy in this area. You can see now my guy is struggling to walk. It's very laggy. I think in the future, if I was to do this, I would probably use just the hedge fence, but it's because the wheat has so many moving parts in the wind, for example, and it just lags, so that's a little disappointing, but as a whole, it looks really awesome, so I'm really pleased with it. It came out way better than I thought. On either end, you've just got a little bit of an area where you can kind of start and finish the maze and have some picnics or have a rest and things like that. And that brings us back down to the resident services, and I'm pretty sure that is everything there is to see. I'm super impressed with this island. This is more than I thought I could do, and thanks to your input, we have some super creative builds. So I want to thank everyone for kind of participating, joining in, watching, suggesting, criticizing, and just making it so much fun for me. For the last 2 years, I haven't really got to experience Animal Crossing New Horizons because I've been doing news videos, I've been researching data mines, I've been uploading new features and trailer analysis, and so although I did play and I put hours and hours and hours, I kind of didn't get the full experience because I was always in the back of my mind worrying about videos and making sure everyone had something to watch. So for me, this has been an absolutely huge pleasure and a real honor to do this, and I've had so much fun. So thank you, honestly, it means a lot, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, the dream address is here. Please check it out. Let me know if you can find the 5 star fragments. I don't know if I accidentally showed any in the video. I probably did, but I'm sure you'll find them and have fun with it. Tweet me or comment on the video if you found them. But of course, this is the end of the 30-day challenge. This is what we achieved. We paid off our house, so we completed all the loans except the extra storage. So all the house is upgraded. We got a 5-star island on the very last day, so that was achieved, and we done a bunch of builds. So I would say personally, I think we passed. I hope, anyway. Of course, that's very subjective. There's a lot of areas that could be built upon and expanded. But I think, like I said earlier, this just proves you do not need an item on every tile to have a 5-star island or have an island that you can be proud of. Don't get me wrong, there's a few things I'd change if I could, but I'm really happy with it, and I hope you are too. And of course, please stay tuned to the channel because we're going to go back to some regular scheduled videos over November. Some new challenges as well, maybe with some other creators, so watch out for that. And I do plan to do a Christmas, holiday, winter themed island starting in December, so watch out for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you once again for watching. Sorry if I've been rambling. Thank you for the ideas, and thank you as well for the super thanks throughout the series, and of course to the patrons and channel members. You've all been awesome. It's been super fun. I've enjoyed reading all the comments. Let me know your final thoughts of this island, and I hope you have a happy Halloween, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.